Alright, before I get this lesson started, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, of whom I learned from, and a shalom to the hope elect, taking its truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits of Yasharallah to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Radah. We just gotta, this feed, I was on Instagram this morning, and I just had to capture all these feeds. I've come to learn that usually when it's stuff like this, there's a reason for it. Use the unicorn as best we can to bring this truth out, to expose the man of sin, to show the transgressions of our own people, to speak the words of prophecy, to glorify the name of Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai, to cry out to Yahweh while Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, for the salvation that comes to the hopeful elect, to deliver us from the rulership of Esau Edom, and to bring judgment on the man of sin, the so-called white man. Look at this. Former Oklahoma Republican district attorney sentenced to 20 years. So let me get this. There we go. 20 years in prison for 153 child sexual abuse files featuring prepubescent children. That is just disgusting. If you look into you'll never see any racist comments. You'll never see any fatigue comments. When you'll see the comments of disgust, right? 20 years isn't long enough, okay, but you'll never see the foaming at the mouth, hatred. You'll never see any communication or a display of an understanding of righteous balance and judgment that must come to these people as written in prophecy. But when we F up, when we make a mistake, and our people are stupid, the 2/3 of our people are dumb, you see Edomites in the comments just foaming at the mouth. You know what I mean? Just foaming at the mouth. It's wild. So look at this. This is just a couple of feeds, man. Trip off of this. So we have another one.
Is of a boy named Timothy Hudson, and one is of a boy named Khalif Browder. One of them spent time at Rikers. I'm going to assume that you probably already know who that is. Let me tell you why. The one child, the one with the darker skin tone, was falsely accused of stealing a backpack, was sent to Rikers, spent 3 years there before he was released. While he was there, he suffered torment, solitary confinement, and then when released, took his own life because of most likely what he suffered while he was in there. The other one is safely at home right now after being charged with unaliving and essaying his stepsister on a Carnival cruise. And the judge said he should get to go home and be with his family while they await trial. The system is set up to hurt black and brown people. The system is set up to protect white men and white men only. So please stop pretending there aren't two systems, because there are.
What we are looking at is not white and black. It is Jacob and Esau. Okay, and right now Esau is in rulership, and Jacob, the northern and southern kingdoms, the Latinos, the Native Americans, and the blacks, and yes, we do look like the other nations because we were scattered. We are on the bottom, and there's a reason for that. It's the way the Most High wrote out the story. Okay, the wicked has been reserved last for the day of judgment, Yahweh Shaphat, and the wicked is identified in Malachi chapter 1, verse 3 and 4 as Esau Edom. Okay, and Esau Edom is the so-called white man. We also, as Jacob, we also did transgress. We committed adultery. We worshipped other gods. If I let me see. Let's go into. I want to use Chronicles because it mentions it. If my people. Now we got to get the full balance of this. Okay, I'm pointing out the wickedness of Esau, but we also gotta. This is we're a righteous nation, right? We are working back to getting back into the law, statute, commandments, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding that Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakodash gave to us, and law applies to us. We are not like the Edomites. The Edomites write law to oppress us and the other nations and to strengthen themselves because they're truly a lawless race. The law of Moses, the law that Yahweh gave to Moses to give to us, has to do with us governing ourselves by those laws. And when we step out of those laws, if we do not judge ourselves correctly according to those laws, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai himself will then judge us because he's sovereign. And it also proves that he's got a relationship with us and that we are his sons and daughters because we get judged first every time. But he doesn't not judge the other nations, and he's not going to not judge Esau. He has just reserved them for the last, and they get them. And when they get judged, they get the harshest judgment because there's no redemption, there's no repentance, there's no forgiveness for them. Okay, so here we go. Let me. I want to go back up a little bit. Let's go to, I think it's verse 7. Hold on. Let me get this. This is 2 Chronicles chapter 7. Okay. Hold on. Okay, verse 12. I'm sorry. I'm going to read from verse 12 down. Look at this. So Yahweh appeared to Solomon, and we understand that Solomon is the son of David, Ban Malak Dawadad, right? And we also know through the understanding of reincarnation that King Solomon is Yahushai. So Yahweh is having a face-to-face conversation with his son, Yahushai, as he walks out his lot as King Solomon. It's very awesome once you understand that. Verse 12. And Yahweh appeared to Solomon by night and said unto him, I have heard thy prayer and have chosen this place to myself for a house of sacrifice. That's very key. The temple is a house of sacrifice. Well, what's the temple now? Our bodies. The third temple is going to be the bodies of the hopefully elect men. Verse 13. If I shut up heaven, listen to this. If I shut up heaven, that there be no rain, or if I command the locusts to devour the land, or if I send pestilence among the people, if my people which are called by my name, that's not just anybody, that's a seed line. That's a sperm line. That's the Hebrew Israelites, the 12 tribes. It's not just anyone. If my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sins and will heal their land. 15. Now mine eyes shall be open and mine ears shall attend unto thy prayer that is made in this place. 16. For now have I chosen and sanctified this house, that my name may be there forever, and mine eyes and mine heart shall be there perpetually. 17. And as for thee, if thou wilt walk before me, as David thy father walked, and do according to all that I have commanded thee, and shalt observe my statutes and my judgments, then will I establish the throne of thy kingdom, according as I have covenanted with David thy father, saying, there shall not fail thee a man to be ruler in Israel. But if you turn away and forsake my statutes and commandments, which I have set before you, and shall go and serve other gods. See how that, he didn't say lie, he didn't say steal, even though that's in the law. He didn't even say murder, and that's in the law, you guys. Those are bad things. He said serve other. This was the main theme of what we did as a nation, as a race of people. This is our major offense, that we committed adultery against our husband. And how we commit adultery against our husband is when we worship other gods and follow other philosophies of the heathen nation, okay, and we break the covenant, and therefore judgment is set, and that judgment is slavery, captivity to another nation. Hold on. All right, Slocky, I'm back. Okay, verse 19. But if you turn away and forsake my statutes and commandments which I have set before you, and shall go and serve other gods. Look at this as a husband who has a wife. What are you going to do if you find your wife in bed with another man? It's one thing if she argues with you. It's one thing if sometimes she doesn't do what you say right away. It's bad, right? So you got to correct that. It's a completely different thing, bro. If you come home to find some guy in your bed and she's literally with him, or she's been cheating on you with another man on the side, having him enter into her and releasing his DNA inside of her body, that's a completely different level of offense and reaction to you see how I'm trying to I'm being graphic on purpose. That's what we did with other philosophies. Okay, verse 20. Then will I pluck them up by the roots out of my land which I have given them, and this house which I have sanctified for my name. He's going to divorce us. Will I cast out of my sight, and will make it to be a proverb and a byword among all nations. He's going to violently scatter us and allow the nations to be over us. And this is what we are experiencing today. Okay, we got the curses on us. We're under the authority of a lawless, wicked race of people who hates us, and they have spread a narrative all over the earth about who we are, as well as they have spread a narrative about themselves, about who they are to the whole world. And both narratives are lies. Verse 21, and this house which is high shall be an astonishment to everyone that passes by it, so that he shall say, why hath Yahweh done this unto this land, unto these people, and to this house? And it shall be answered, because they forsook Yahweh, Yahweh, the power of their fathers, which brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, because he delivered us that time. He's delivered us so many times in the past, and he's going to deliver us again, and laid hold on other gods. And this is what we see women doing today, our women and the women of the nations, Esau's women. Every woman in America today, for the most part, is incapable of being faithful and subject under one man's authority, because of the liberty that they have been granted through the philosophies and the laws of this nation, which were purposely written to get them to this point. It's a fulfillment of prophecy, and it's also a testament to how Esau writes his fucked up laws. Now, I said this to go back. I want to go back to this. Here we go. That's why
Timothy Hudson, and one is of a boy named Khalif Browder. One of them.
That's why we see stuff like this. They don't get off. And I'm also going to read Wisdom of Solomon 10. I'm sorry, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, verses 10 down, because you got to understand what's going on. The veneer of righteousness that the so-called white man has, it's all based on the fact that we are on the bottom, right? And we are being cursed because of the things we did to the Yahweh, but that part of the story is not mentioned. So he's able to, so the Edomites are able to stand over us and appear as if they're constantly correcting us, because the appearance of them having a law. No, that's not even what's going on. They're not the standard of our life. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is, and the laws that he gave us. Esau is the oppressor. He's the sword in the hand of Yahweh. Okay, he's the golden cup in the hand of Yahweh. He's the golden cup. Babylon is that golden cup, and the Most High uses this race of people to fuck you up because they're so wicked. Okay, and learning by reading the precepts, we get understanding, and the understanding is that Esau is a lawless man. Okay, and this is why there's a two-tier system. But that's not what this lesson is about. This lesson is about the other stuff. Let me get back to
time at Rikers.
Four men, three of them in very prominent positions named in these complaints, allegedly speaking about abusing young children, some of them as young as 4 years old. Those three men all facing charges including receipt and possession of child sexually abusive material. And the allegations...
See, what I want to show you is this is the race of people that has written laws that govern over us, oppress us. This is the same race of people that gets on the nightly news every day and tells the world that the so-called black man and Latino man, Native American man, are the problems of society, mainly the black man. And there is an issue with the 2/3, but the 2/3 does not impact the planet. It's just in their neighborhoods. The so-called white man is impacting the planet. And this is the group of men who has told you that they are righteous, that white Jesus is the only way to go, right? Christianity, Renaissance Western Christianity, and that America is the best nation, right? And these are the corner. They're the lawful, righteous standard for all of the world to follow, and yet now the Most High is exposing them for what they are.
hard to stomach, according to 3 separate complaints in March with the help of local police in Toledo, Ohio. The feds arresting a person who allegedly traveled there to have sex with a fictional 7-year-old and 6-month-old after an FBI agent had been posing as the parent of the children. Then the feds say they uncovered messages from attorney Joshua Ronnebaum and psychotherapist with Arbor Wellness Center, Jeremy Taken of Detroit.
Also, it's safe to say that these Edomite men are low level because you got the Epstein files. You got all the evidence of what those white men are doing, but none of those white men are being prosecuted. Why? Because that goes into your upper echelon, where there's human sacrifice and there's blood, there's trafficking in human blood, the Feast of Blood mentioned in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12. That goes into your priestly functions, and Esau absolutely needs that in order to get his power. So there's also some what's the word I'm looking for? They're trying to throw you off by saying, hey, look, we got a couple of our people, look, but it's not really, it's the low level, it's the low hanging fruit. It's not the men of power that are really doing this shit, but still, it's Esau being exposed.
Along with messages from Wayne State and DMC, Dr. Lincoln Erickson of Farmington Hills. Local 4 is told now fired. Last month, the FBI raiding Ronnebaum's Detroit mansion where he lived with 3 other men, allegedly finding 38 media storage devices and at least 155 images of child sexually abusive material. Ronnebaum's personal cell left displaying delete Telegram, the app the men had allegedly been using. The feds also finding a conversation where the attorney says he abused 2 minor boys, quote, 10 and 12 when I was in my 20s. Ronnebaum also quoted in the complaint saying he had done something similar several years ago. Taken expressing his sexual interest in children, receiving at least 12 videos via Telegram asking for, quote, any more clips? And the complaint says Lincoln Erickson allegedly saying, quote, bro, I love other pedophiles, and have been openly discussing his access to a, quote, dad who allows Erickson to sexually abuse his 3-year-old son. Right now, 2 of the 3 men are scheduled to be in federal court Tuesday afternoon. Again, Erickson has been fired from his role with Wayne State and DMC, and Taken, again, also has been removed from his role with Arbor Wellness. 4 men, 3.
There's another one, 6 arrested in alleged Greenville, Colorado. I think that's right. Child, there's a woman in there. 2 women. That one woman looks like a man, or maybe that is a man. Child sex ring employed by police and fire department.
Greenville County, multiple suspects are facing a long list of charges, all tied to an alleged child sex ring. Fox Carolina got a tip about this last night, and our investigative team has been working to learn more. So let's get right to Chief Investigative Anchor Justin Doherty to break down what we know at this moment.
Okay, and Rachel, right away, we do want to warn you, some of these details you're about to hear are disturbing. 6 people in total are charged, and some of them worked as first responders in our community. Greenville County deputies say the crimes happened in the late 90s and early 2000s. 4 men are all facing multiple charges of criminal sexual conduct with a minor, accused of sexually abusing young children. Their names, you see them here on your screen: Matthew Fay, Alan Foltz, Edward Storer, and Waylon Rogers. Fay worked at the Greenville City Fire Department. Foltz previously worked for Malden Police. Rogers worked for Greenville Police. Deputies say the crimes happened more than 20 years ago, and the suspects conspired together.
Greenville County, multiple suspects are facing
Blood and Mikey McCoy.
This has got to be what Black people are talking about when they say white fatigue. Because, girl, what? Me celebrating a Black man's victory is not being racist towards the white man. And I know you and your crusty duck lips are going to pretend like there's no disparities on how Black people are treated in this country compared to white people. So
but why is that? Because we just read in First Chronicles that we are being punished by Yahweh, by this wicked race of people, right? And then I'm gonna pull up Wisdom of Solomon 2 and show you how the Edomites write their laws, which that's why we have a 2-tiered system, because Esau is actually the man of sin. They're not about righteousness, but they're about deception. They're about making you think that they are righteous when in fact they're lawless.
Let's go ahead and play a little game on guess who got which sentence. Now, both of these men deserve a wood chipper, okay? Both of these men were children, okay? One of these men, all of it is terrible, okay? One of these men was a little girl, happened 6 to 7 times. Horrific, okay? The other one was a little boy for over 4 years, from age 6 to 10. He not only was the little boy, he threatened to him and his mother if he ever told. He also would wash his clothes before sending him home. He also got him a cell phone so he could hide more things with him. There is 4 years of horrific abuse, okay?
So the Jake raped a girl 6 or 7 times. The brother on the right, he gets an insane sentence. And the Edomite on the left was raping the boy for 4 years. Watch what happens.
Both are terrible. Both deserve the wood chipper. Guess which one got 35 years? And guess which one got 30 days? All right, Lint Liquor, you look like you're a product of the public school system, so I'm going to help you out a little bit. This one got 35 years without the possibility of parole. This one, Ken Paxton actually tried to get time served. Ken Paxton tried to get him no time, but he got 30 days.
So they gave the Jake a life sentence for raping a girl 6 or 7 times. And the Edomite who was raping the boy, so that's a compound transgression. It's already bad that they're both dealing with underage kids, but the man was dealing with an underage boy, so now you add sodomy to it, and then you got 4 years of this. That's premeditation. That's not repentance. That's way more agitated than the gentleman on the right, yet he got fucking 30 days, dude.
Then the judge did say, no, that's not enough. So then the judge sentenced him to 60 days. But in county jail only, not even like prison. And in county jail, they give you 2 for 1. So he's only actually going to be in for 30 days. Guess which one has to register as a sex offender? Guess which one doesn't? And this one, in 5 years, he gets to practice law again. He gets to still be a lawyer. He has 0 punishment for brutally and horrifically a little boy for years for threatening to him and his mother.
And when you go into Wisdom of Solomon, look, this proves who these people are. I remember when I first read Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, right away. I mean, the Spirit was showing me, but I was like, this is talking about Esau, Solomon, and I didn't know for sure if what I was reading, if what I was thinking was the understanding. And then I heard a couple of other brothers in GMS also, and I was like, oh man, I was right in hearing what the Spirit was saying. I'm going to drop down to verse 10. Look at this. So this is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. There's so many reasons why they took the Apocrypha out of the Bible. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 verse 10 on down. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. So this is the inward thought of the Edomites. Okay. To prove it. Let me see. For the ungodly said, reasoning within themselves. I mean, it's telling you who's saying this. And then as you read on, you begin to realize, wait, there's only one race of people that fit this description. The Chinese have not written any laws that America has to obey. Russia doesn't have any set of laws that America has to obey. Mexico, Japan, nowhere. Middle East has no laws. And when I say America, what do I mean in this cause? Because Jake is in America. The so-called black man, the Latino man, the Mexican, the Native American, we are in America. Both Northern and Southern Kingdom, Hebrew Israelites are in America. So when I say there's no other race of people that have written laws that America has to obey, I'm talking about there's no situation where you ever see a so-called black man having to deal with another race of people until they are here in America. And yes, we get treated like shit wherever we go, but it's way more intensified here in America. And the race of people that have those laws that enforce that oppression upon us is the so-called white man. So it's safe to say, just by reason of math, this is talking about the Edomites. And it is talking about the Edomites. Verse 10, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow. So we are called the poor. We are called the widow and we are called the orphan in Scripture. Those titles are specific to the Hebrew Israelites. Nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the aged, and they don't have any respect for our elders. 11. Let our strength be the law of justice. The law of justice is not the law of Moses. And you're going to see the precept that proves that. Let our strength be the law of justice. This is their constitution, their 13th Amendment. You know, when you read the 13th Amendment, no man shall be a slave unless he is duly prosecuted as to committing a crime. So now all they got to do is criminalize you to justify putting you back in slavery. That is a perfect example of the law of justice, that being their strength. Laws they write as white males to oppress us, and laws they write as white males to strengthen themselves. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing more worth. Verse 12. Therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous. See, we are the righteous, they are not, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offering, offending the law. Now the law is about the law of Moses. See, there's two sets of laws mentioned in this chapter. The law of justice, which is the Edomite, the so-called white man's white way, and then the law of Moses, which is in the Scriptures, the Hebrew Israelite, Jacob's way. And you see the division right there. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objecteth to our infamy, the transgressings of our education. He professes to have the knowledge of God, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord. That only applies to one person. That's Jacob. He was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us, even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. See, we're not like the heathen. His ways are of another fashion, because we're holy and we're in covenant with Yahweh. Okay, we are the sons of God, and we're being chastised right now. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, because we're prophets, and maketh his boast that the Most High is his Father. I'm going to stop there for the sake of time. You get the point. You get it. Damn.
This has got to be what black people are talking about when.
Hold on, let's go back. Now let's look at this. Now look at this. This is a Thai man, an Asian man, talking about white people. Look, and this brother's being sarcastic, but look at the topic.
Jeffrey Epstein and all white guys involved in Sex Island. You think I'm like Jeffrey Epstein? White culture. I'm like Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein had Sex Island. Yeah, all white people involved. You know, now today. So you think all white people are involved in Jeffrey? In the Epstein Island? You go to even Thailand. You're saying they're going out the Japanese girls. They don't respect Japanese men. They respect the Philippines saying all white guys. All white.
He's talking about all the Edomite men that go all over the world to Asian nations and play and deal with their children and their women disrespectfully. And this is a known thing.
Guys, I know. I still remember even little boy, white guys going out, girls in GI. They're all GI, you know, girls. Yeah, I know. Why they are doing that? My friend said that that's in their DNA.
The Asian man saying it's in your fucking nature to be like that. Look at this, bro.
Their culture. Yeah. So people love sex. Hey, you don't like me just because I'm white?
And then the first thing the fucking Peckerwood does, you don't like me. Why do we gotta like you? Part of Edomite supremacy, part of the enchantment of white supremacy is everyone must like me. You have to like me. No, we fucking don't, bro.
I'm telling you, see, here English teachers, the English guys came from England. Yeah. Their main aim is not, they are not English, they are not teaching. Main aim is fucking looking for fucking woman. You know, I tell you, that's why they are here. They have to investigate. Officially they are English teachers, but they are womanizers. My God. You are not telling, I'm not talking only. Are you taking video?
So a Japanese man sees a white man in his country and says, "Hey, are you a white man?" Because when it's, are you? That's white culture. We've established that the Epstein files, we've seen the January 6th, like we've seen in the last month, there's been almost 20 female teachers getting arrested and locked up. And it's like, there's an attack on white culture. This is not...
He's being sarcastic. Listen to, this is like the second video where I've seen him. He's playing the devil's advocate by being funny, by sounding like he's defending it, but he's actually mocking the shit out of it.
This is something they've been doing for hundreds of years. Bestiality. The doctor the lawyer whose wife, his wife, you could tell she's a liberal who hangs around many non-white people. So they filled her head with so much propaganda. They made her hate white culture that she even went to go and report, because she reported the cops. She reported her husband to the cops. She provided evidence, and the cops didn't do anything because they're like, well, why are we going to arrest one of our own for practicing white culture? Like, what's this? She had to now go to the ASPCA, who are a bunch of liberal women who think dogs should not be fucked.
He's being sarcastic. I got to say it again just for...
they don't respect white culture. So this white guy went to Japan, and Japanese guys was like, hey, are you a pedo? It's like he was trying indirectly, just asking, hey, do you practice white culture? And he was like, yeah, white culture. Since I've been a child, all I remember about white people and their culture is, sexual depravity. And it's like, why are you calling it that? It's just white culture. No one looks at the Japanese sumo wrestling and calls it fat Asian depravity. It's Japanese culture. We respect it. So y'all gotta learn to respect white culture. They let white men fuck their dogs, let their dogs fuck their wives, let their dogs fuck them, let them fuck their children, let them eat whatever cannibalism, let them eat their babies, let them practice white culture. No one's messing with you for practicing your culture. They even have a website to...
Look at this. This goes into the Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. So they'll write laws to oppress us, and then they'll write laws to give themselves grace. Look at this shit.
Help ease you into understanding white culture. What we should know about the term minor attracted person. David Prescott. We recently received a phone call at a Safer Society from someone who had visited our website and seen the term minor attracted person, also known by the acronym MAP. This person was obviously upset and told us that in his view, this seemed more of the same policing of language that he had heard elsewhere in society. He felt strongly that with many others, that sexual abuse of children should not be minimized through sugar-coated language. I was probably a black person in white people's business. What?
See how crazy Esau is, calling sweet bitter and bitter sweet, calling darkness light and light darkness, just inverting everything, right? So this bastard will write laws to oppress the poor righteous man. He'll specifically criminalize Jake. He'll criminalize the nations of the earth at the same time while writing laws to protect him in areas where he's weak at or fucked up at or defiled at.
Keep your children in black people's business. Keep your children in black communities. Stay out of white people's business. What business do you have calling them, telling them you're upset about them trying to soften the language so that it's their culture? Leave white culture alone.
The Pretendians are...
Of course, the Jewish pedophiles who wrote our history books don't want you to know the Nazis were burning books about transgender ideology. Here it is from the horse's mouth.
People should know that one of the first things that the Nazis did, I think it was in 1933, was they burned Magnus Hirschfeld.
And here you have it. You have a Jake. You have a Judite, a man that is transgendered himself. Because why? He envies the ways of the heathen, of the wicked, right? He envies the oppressor, and he has conformed into their image, rather into the image of Yahushai, the only begotten Son of Yahweh. Instead of conforming to that image, he is conformed into the image of what Esau wants for our people, which is his wickedness. And so this Jake, instead of defending the gospel of Yahushai, the prophecies, the law, statutes, commandments, what's he doing? He's defending the transgender doctrine of the Amalekites and the Edomites.
Gender for sexuality. Magnus Hirschfeld was studying trans people, LGBTQ people. Lily Elby, who the film Danish Girl was about, she had her first gender affirming procedure at Magnus.
This is the will for the so-called white man for you Jakes. He wants to turn you into a fucking transgender. But why? It is not as much. It's not so much as his own belief systems in that shit, as much as it is to defile the temple of Yahweh. They've always wanted to defile the temple of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, and now we know the bodies of the elect men and women, or the elect men, I should say, Salakia, is the third temple. So they want to defile that temple.
Hirschfeld's clinic, the Nazis burned it down. All of this research.
History's written by the victor who really won. Of course, the Jewish pedophiles who...
This is breaking news. Religious and political leaders in Israeli settlements in Gush Etzion were exposed yesterday for creating child pornography and gang raping children for years. And this investigation was aired by Israeli public broadcaster Can 11
So one of their literal own fucking reported this. Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai is exposing this race of people, man.
It's a program called Zman Emet, True Time by Roni Zenger. And it featured testimonies from 5 women, most of them who didn't know each other, describing strikingly similar patterns of organized multi-perpetrator ritualistic sexual abuse in the Gush Etzion settlement block, a group of communities in the West Bank. Or I should say a group of illegal settlements in the West Bank. What they describe as abuse, often beginning around the age of 4 years old and continued for years, group and gang rapes involving multiple adult men, ritualistic elements with, like men in black chanting phrases, specific...
See, and that goes into your Feast of Blood. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verses 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's a human sacrifice. There's a left-handed element to this sexual perversion. It's not just only sex. The higher up you go, the more of a religious element you get into this. This is where they get their power. This is what they have to do. This is their true nature, man.
Locations enforce beatings, injections, and other sadistic acts. And some of the accounts even mention filming the assaults and linking this to CP production. And the survivors provided consistent detail over the years, supported by therapists and professionals, site identifications, drawings, and other corroborating elements. And this does fit into a broader pattern emerging of ritualistic organized sex abuse in some ultra-Orthodox and national religious communities in Israel. And I think we all kind of could have guessed that. These guys are disgusting, absolutely filthy, like the worst of the worst. This is breaking news.
This right here is fucking exactly why it is up to us.
The title of this one is Child Sex Trafficking, Co-Conspirators, fully redacted. Les Wexner is in this, but he doesn't appear in this file.
And this is a circus. The guy that you see sitting down, this is what you call paid. This is a controlled opposition. This, you guys, is a very, very, very skillful, very, very ingenious, what's the word I want to look, crafty. Crafty is the word I was actually, I don't want to say genius, but it is brilliant on the left-hand side. This is Esau, the so-called white man. He's really good at this. There's a handful of Edomites in the system. They are paid and protected to be the opposition, which then gives the balance. It gives the illusion of balance. It gives the illusion that there's a group of white people that are fighting against the evils that are plaguing society. Oh, we gotta do something about this. And every presidency, every term, there's always a section of Edomites that are just, oh, the evil, we gotta stop the evil, right? And yet Esau's kingdom continues to move forward. No one ever goes to prison. No one ever gets killed. The only people who get suicided are the real Edomites that were in that system that disobeyed an order or fucking were going to say something. And then they come up hung on a doorknob with a fucking piece of underwear around their neck, which is proving that you can't even hang yourself that way. Or they're OD'd in a hotel room with fucking bags of heroin all over the ground. You know, they kill them in a sloppy manner and then say that they committed suicide. This dude is fucking controlled opposition. There's nothing righteous about these people. The two women, the guy standing behind them, they're all paid to give the appearance that the so-called white man is fighting evil, which is all bullshit.
Until I forced you to release it, where he's listed as a co-conspirator, not to tax evasion, but to child sex trafficking, not to prostitution, not to money laundering, child sex trafficking.
I believe Wexner's name was listed more than 4,000 times. Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
There was one redaction.
This bitch is giggling and laughing as they're talking about, you know what I'm saying? And look how young she looks. She's like in her 60s, you guys. You don't think she's not drinking that fucking adrenal either? She's on that same fucking shit, bro. She's on the same fucking dietary plan as all of them are, bro. Fucking Esau is wicked, dude.
He's listed as a co-conspirator.
And we invited you in. This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get, you're a failed politician.
Child abuse, punishment.
And then you got these goofballs, these low-level six-pack Edomites, who think what? If we just punish the core group and we put a new group of white people in there, we can get our America back. And that's not what prophecy says. America is going to be turned into the lake of fire with smoke ascending up forever and ever for the whole world to see for a long time after the missiles hit. That's what has to happen. Okay? So I'm gonna let this be. I'm gonna stop this lesson. You get it. You see what's going on.
Child abuse.
And they have no answer. They have no biblical understanding. They have no prophetical understanding, and they don't understand judgment. So they all have to go according to what is written. I pray that this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. By Hashem Rakakadash and double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone who we learn from. This is your brother Radah. Shalom.